If you fell into the ocean's deepest point right now, it would take you over 2 hours to reach the bottom. And what waits for you down there will change how you see our planet forever. We've mapped more of the surface of Mars than the floor of our own oceans. Beneath the waves lies a world of crushing pressure, absolute darkness, and silence so deep it can drive a person mad. Today we're going to take you on a journey straight down, from the warm, sunlit surface, through ancient shipwrecks, past volcanic vents that may have birthed life itself, all the way to the bottom of the deepest place on Earth, the Challenger Deep. Take a deep breath. We're going down. The first 200 meters of the ocean are called the Sunlight Zone. This is where 90% of all marine life exists, but we're going much deeper than that. At 10 meters down, the pressure on your body is already doubled. At 50 meters, the colors begin to disappear. Red is the first to go, then orange, then yellow. By 100 meters, the world becomes a dim blue void. The bright surface above you is just a memory. At 200 meters, the last rays of sunlight finally surrender. You're about to enter a place where the sun has never reached. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. From 200 to 1,000 meters, the ocean enters perpetual darkness. The temperature drops to near freezing. The pressure on your body is now 100 times what you feel at the surface. That's the equivalent of a small car resting on every square inch of your skin. At 500 meters, you would be completely blind without artificial light. The only things visible are tiny flashes of bioluminescence, flickering signals in the eternal night. Most submarines cannot survive past this depth. Even military attack submarines have to turn back here. But our journey is just beginning. Because at 3,800 meters down, there's something waiting for us that has been silent for over 100 years. On April 15th, 1912, the unsinkable Titanic sank. She rests now 3,800 meters below the surface of the North Atlantic. To put that in perspective, if you stacked 12 Eiffel Towers on top of each other, they still wouldn't reach the Titanic's grave. The pressure here is so immense that the entire ship is slowly being eaten by microscopic bacteria. Scientists predict, within a few decades, the Titanic could be completely gone, just dust on the sea floor. But the Titanic is only at 3,800 meters. We still have 7 kilometers to go. And down here, something stranger awaits. We've entered the Midnight Zone. 1,000 to 4,000 meters below the surface. There is no light here. There has never been light here. But this is also where life may have begun. These are hydrothermal vents, black smokers releasing superheated water from beneath the Earth's crust at temperatures up to 400 degrees Celsius. Many scientists now believe that all life on Earth may have started here, in the absolute darkness, in the boiling water, in the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. And yet, we are still not at the bottom. Let's talk about pressure. At sea level, you're under 1 atmosphere of pressure. At 1,000 meters, 100 atmospheres. At 5,000 meters, 500 atmospheres. A hollow steel sphere would be crushed flat at this depth. Your body would be compressed in less than a second. At 4,000 meters, we enter the Abyssal Zone, the largest habitat on our planet, and the most mysterious. The seafloor here is flat, covered in fine sediment that has fallen from above for millions of years. If you reached down and touched the sediment, you'd be touching dust that fell during the age of dinosaurs. Scattered across this plain are millions of mineral spheres called manganese nodules. Each one took 10 million years to form. And yet, we are still not at the bottom. Because below us, the ocean goes deeper than the highest mountain is tall. We've now reached 6,000 meters. We are entering the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. Only 27 humans have ever ventured this deep. For decades, more people had walked on the moon than visited this place. That only changed in 2019. At 8,000 meters, the trench walls rise around you like canyons. You could fit Mount Kilimanjaro inside, and the peak would still be over 2 kilometers below the surface. The pressure here is over 800 atmospheres, a pressure so immense that water itself becomes denser. And yet, we still have 1 final kilometer to go. Welcome to the deepest place on Earth. This is the Challenger Deep, 10,994 meters below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. The pressure here is over 1,000 atmospheres. That's like having the weight of 100 elephants pressing on every part of your body. And yet, we found life down here. But that's not the most shocking discovery. In 2019, explorer Victor Vescovo descended to one of the deepest points ever reached by a human, nearly 11,000 meters down. And what he found was a plastic bag. Scientific expeditions to the deepest trenches have recovered cans, plastic, and human-made debris. Humanity has reached every corner of this planet, including the place where the sun has never shined. And we left our trash behind. Let's put this in perspective. Mount Everest is 8,848 meters tall. The Challenger Deep is 10,994 meters deep. If you took Mount Everest and dropped it into the Mariana Trench, the peak would still be over 2 kilometers underwater. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about what lies beneath our oceans. Around 80% of our ocean remains completely unmapped and unexplored. The deepest place on Earth is not a distant planet. It's not somewhere in space. It's right here. Beneath the waves we sail across every day, and we've barely begun to explore it. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe for more. Next time, we leave the ocean behind and travel beyond the edge of the universe. See you down there.